Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, as spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. And considering all of the things that we have been experiencing here in the United States of America as far as our government is concerned in the past, well, let's say in the past month. And we have seen just the other day on the 6th, we saw the insurrection take place. People of this country who are dissatisfied with this country and decided that they, well, we're going to do something about it. But in the bigger picture, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to issue a warning to America. Excuse me. What you have taking place in America today is evil versus goodness and righteousness. That's what you have. Now, what we recognize is that there's a lot of evil in the world. Now, you say there's a lot of good people, we would agree. But there's a lot of evil, and evil makes itself known as if it's really real and they want you to know it. And in fact, what evil did just the other day was to raise its ugly head, but it didn't just raise its ugly head up the other day. It's been festering around here in the United States of America for quite some time. And all that it was looking for or waiting for was a voice, someone to call its savior, someone like its Messiah. And when Trump came along, he came along as their savior. He came along as their Messiah. You saw how the Christian church over in the right wing referred to him. They referred to him as being a biblical structure. They referred to him as being, well, there were many who would say that the people chose him as president, not as a biblical representative, but because they wanted his ideas to be implemented within their society. But the people who on the side talking about God and Jesus, they saw him as a spiritual figure designed by God to come and set America straight. And don't ask me why he came that way, because on that side, what you really see through their action is hate. And we said that God was love. All you see is racism and bigotry and killing. You see how they take their guns everywhere they go. They start talking about everything as being theirs. The land is theirs. The streets are theirs. Everything is theirs, and they're not gonna, and nobody's gonna take it. It's not even for sharing. It's for them, and anybody else can get from it as they determine the other should receive and what amount. And see, this is actually what everybody understands as being evil, especially when you're going to force that on the people. That's what we say about Russia, North Korea, and other places. And we say that's the kind of stuff that takes place in hell. And then you got your guns going to a place where you disagree with somebody. You're going to go and cut their heads off. And you got a mouthpiece up there in the White House that's championing everything you do, tell you to just stand back, don't worry, everything gonna be cool, I'll call you, I'll give you the signs. Then once he say I'm gonna be leaving office, don't worry about it, America, I got my eyes on you, and we, and my people, we're not going into place, we're gonna keep our eyes on you, so beware. Definitely beware. So what I wanted to warn you about, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is no fake. You saw Donald Trump came into office lying. He never stopped lying. He lied every day and every night while he was in there. That was to get people confused about what was actually the truth. And since nobody actually challenged Trump in these various situations, people just accepted it. Now, there were others who didn't care what he said. Those were the ones who would allow him to shoot somebody down the street and not do anything about it. But others who listened over a time, 4 years hearing this stuff, and then recognizing at the same time that their lives weren't any better. It didn't even come better with Trump, but he promised them they was going to get better. The problem was the rest of the left. The problem was everybody else. That's why he couldn't deliver to them. So he was trying to get them all fired up to be able and ready to attack everybody else and be able to put fear in them and defeat them, because he had the military and everything on his side and he was going to take over this country. I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, this is real. And don't think that with this kind of evil, willing and ready, as you saw them at the Capitol, at the nation's capital, to do anything, commit any evil act. for dominion. You got to be as willing to go all the way out for God. You cannot sit here, ladies and gentlemen, and call yourself in power, supposed to be administering the resources that have been given within our ability to administer, to benefit the people of our nation who have common needs for survival. We cannot permit the same thing that allowed some to become billionaires, multi-billionaires, while others were on the street and sleeping in tents of snow. We have to change that system. It worked for those who got all the money. It worked for the billionaires and those who can get a lot of crumbs. But for those down the ladder, it doesn't work for them at all. They just stuck with it. The truth of the matter is, it does not work for God. Those of you who got the $1 billion, it might work good for the system that you got set up, but it does not work for God's plan. It does not work for God's plan. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the warning is this: the devil is ready and set to go all out to take you straight to hell. And I'm not talking about where fires are burning. I'm talking about where the pain and suffering is spread all across you, where in places that it's never been before, tearing you up. And you on your knees praying to God, and God ain't coming nowhere, because the same thing that was required would be required at that time for God to come is required at this moment. And if you reject God at this moment when you can still breathe, you might not reject him when the breath is being left out of you, but you might not even be able to pray. So I'm saying to you, wake up today. And when I say wake up today and give the best that you can give, that means the things you've heard me say. Make sure that as far as we are concerned, the good people are concerned. I'm not talking about those who are killed. I'm talking about those others. Make sure that everybody, as far as we are concerned, are living and have the opportunity and access to live here in America as if they are in paradise or if they are in heaven. I challenge the devil with heaven. I challenge Donald Trump with God's plan, heaven. And I want to know who you going to bag. Are you going to bag the devil? Are you going to back a return to what allowed the devil to come here? Are you going to deal with this thing as a child of God? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for what's love. Beat the hell out of Satan. Beat the hell out of the devil. Beat the hell out of evil. And don't be trying to beat the hell out of Donald Trump's people. Donald Trump's people learn that stuff. They need a doctor. And the same doctor that they need is the doctor that we need. It's the doctor that I'm introducing to you. You accept this doctor, and I guarantee you'll be able to reach and help those who are with Donald Trump, because you'll be able to be their doctor, and they can look at you and see that you're for real. They can look at you, and it doesn't matter what color. They can look at you and know the happiness. They can look at you and know the peace. They can look at you and see the prosperity. They can look at you and see the joy. They can look at you and know your dreams are fulfilled. And they can look at you and know that there's enough for the rest of them. And I guarantee you beat the stank out of Donald Trump. And that's what I propose to you. If you're not ready to step that high, if you're not ready to step that high, let me say it one more time. If you're not willing and ready to step that high, then to those that would be left out because you wouldn't step that high, to them, what would make you any different than Donald Trump? And it is they, those that you left out, that will probably be joining with Donald Trump. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it.